Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Yo, we talk about lightsabers, stunning your TV screens, what you want to stream, everything beyond your dreams. Want to talk about movies, sports, or even politics? Go ahead and tune into us, we'll give you all of it. Whatever you're debating, Xbox or PlayStation, Marvel or DC, Mac or PC. Teraflops when the movie drops, gigabytes, chips, RAM, no matter what it is, we got all of it. Welcome to the show.
Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Hello, welcome to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm Lafayette. Oh, wait, no, I'm not Lafayette. I'm Laura.
No, you're not. You're not Lafayette.
You're right. I'm not Lafayette. We are doing it minus our founding members, Carlos and Lafayette. They are out of town. They're out of the country. As a matter of fact, they're out gallivanting. So we are carrying on in their stead. Got Laura here, Johnny, and Hugh. How's it going, guys?
I think they're literally in the air over the ocean.
That is my understanding as well. So we're going to dive in. We're going to talk through our weekly wrap up of what we've been watching. We're going to do a little spooky talk about spooky movies and devil movies to get into the Halloween spirit, and do a quick review of Bullet Train and maybe whatever else comes up. So first of all, guys, how was your week and what have you been watching? Hugh.
Well, it's been crazy. I've been working like god awful hours and driving a ton. So I haven't watched that much, but you know what was funny? I had to rewatch. I just wanted to rewatch that particular episode from The Boys that I love so much, and that's what I watched.
Jesus Christ!
I watched that like 3 times over the weekend.
I still haven't seen it. I still don't even know what it is. I just know it involves sex.
I just love that episode.
Probably a dick in some form or fashion.
Yeah, that's. That part I didn't have to rewatch, but just the great part where something was revealed to the to one of the superheroes in the movie.
Yeah, a dick.
That too, but that's not the part I was referring to. Yeah, so I haven't really watched. Oh, actually, come back to me. Go to Johnny. Okay. I get because I have to go check. No, I remember the name. I've been watching Mindhunter with my wife, which is great.
That's a fantastic
Mindhunter is great. She turned me on to it. I had no idea how good that was.
Yeah, and unfortunately it's been just cut. It's just done. David Lynch didn't want to do it anymore for Netflix, or Netflix couldn't afford him or whatever. And there's not making anymore, which sucks because it ends on I think it ends on a cliffhanger if I remember correctly. But
two seasons worth though. Two seasons. Yeah, we're only episode 5 on season 1. Where, I mean, the 2 main actors I think are great.
They are really fantastic.
That's unfortunate when you get invested in a show and then they cancel it. Every once in a while, though, the fans will bring it back for a season or a couple episodes. But when it doesn't fall through, I mean, it's crushing. All that time you invested, all the emotions.
Well, I had to know it was a good show. Like in episode 1, when 10 minutes in, the guy who was holding hostages says, "Can you see me now?" with his clothes off. And I'm like, whoa. And then blows his head literally right off the stalk of his neck. And it's like, yeah, this is going to be an interesting
It's a crazy one. And actually, I was listening to a podcast about BSU, the Behavioral Science Unit, on my way home today. So that's a funny coincidence. Johnny, what about you? What have you been watching?
So I'm into Korean dramas.
Ooh.
There's one on Netflix called Vagabond, and it's got a bunch of action and drama, suspense. I like it. It's Korean dramas are generally 16 episodes, about an hour long. Sometimes they go a little bit over 20 episodes or something like that, but generally their blueprint is 16 episodes, 16 hours. So you don't have to invest too much as far as compared to other shows with seasons and whatnot. But yeah, I'm all in. I love it.
Are they subtitled?
Yes.
Oh, That's a rough one to get past sometimes.
Sometimes, but for me, it's easier if the action is good. And I don't know. I've been watching a lot of stuff on TV lately with subtitles, even the shows that I know, just because of my living situation, and maybe I want to like don't want to wake the baby type of thing. But then I tend to like I notice like I'm reading more than I'm looking at the show type of thing, and so
Yeah.
it takes a little bit away from my viewing pleasure. But you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I find that I want to be playing on my phone when I'm usually watching television. So if I can't
Mhm.
understand it and I have to read the subtitles, then that definitely impacts the viewability for me. And then also I also have subtitles on almost all the time because I'm apparently half deaf and I don't want to turn up the TV so
Mhm.
loud. So I just leave the subtitles on. But yeah, same thing. I'm reading them even though I don't need them necessarily. And
Right.
it's really annoying. But again, I keep them on because then I watch shows that people have accents, British accents or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what you just said. So it's helpful to have the captions on, but still.
Oh yeah. There's a good. I just finished New Girl, and that is a good show to have playing in the background because you
That's
can
the
like
Zoe
catch the.
Deschanel, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's the writing on it is so good, and you can just be playing on your phone and listen to like really great jokes in the background. So check it out. Give it a couple of episodes, to warm up to you, and then let me know what you think because I really like that show.
I might. I don't know. The whole manic pixie dream girl of Zoe Deschanel is not my favorite, but it's been
Well,
was on for a while.
I don't know
So
if I told you guys, but I hated her for so long because I saw the movie 500 Days of Summer,
ah.
and she broke Joseph Gordon-Levitt's heart. In turn, she broke my heart.
Did she
And
though? She told him at the beginning, this is not he's stepping back, guys. He's ready. He's ready to fight me.
well, I mean, if you're a hopeless romantic, then you've been in a situation where maybe you're into it more than they are,
Yeah.
and you see it from different eyes, and in the end, it still sucks. Even though, yeah, she did warn him, but he didn't see that until I guess the very end. And I mean, at the very end, he got some chemistry going with Minka Kelly, so that's a pretty good trade off.
And a girl named Autumn too. And I'm just like, you're just trading in for one thing and
Well,
another.
yeah, I mean,
he's just a sucker trading in
Yeah.
the next fantasy for the new one, or the old fantasy for a new one.
He's a romantic and he loves with all his heart. So,
I do like that movie. I think it is a fun movie. It's been a long time since I watched it, so I wonder how it's going to age for me. But
yeah, I mean, it's just her bluntness of like, you weren't the one, so bye. Oh, it hit home with me, and so I vowed like not to watch anything with her for years, and I finally got around to watching New Girl, and I forgive her.
I really like her in Elf. She's
yeah.
awesome.
I haven't watched Elf in years because of that.
That's dedication, Johnny. That's a dedicated hatred to Zoe Deschanel to not watch one of the best Christmas movies that there is.
I'm very
Elf is
brand
pretty
loyal.
good. Elf is
No, Elf is an amazing movie. It's so funny. But I'm very brand loyal, and like I don't know if I told you guys, I haven't been to an Applebee's since like 1996.
You're not missing anything.
No, I get it. I mean, you can't like you're making profit on a garbage steak. It's $8, and, but still, it's a printability of
hopeless romantic and a loyalist.
So those are my two flaws. I feel like I'm at an interview. What are your flaws? I work too hard and I care too much.
So I've been watching a lot of Paw Patrol this week. I really think the nuance I have a really sick toddler, so that's all we've been watching is Paw Patrol, Scooby-Doo, and Cocomelon. But when she goes to bed, I've been taking a hard left turn to the serial killer documentary, like on Netflix. They put out the Dahmer tapes in addition to the Dahmer TV show. And then they already had, I think Gacy was already on there because they released those two kind of like back to back. And I've been really enjoying it a lot more than I enjoyed the actual Dahmer miniseries that they did. Not that it wasn't good. It was really good, but it was just like too focused on him. And I'm way more interested in the police work. And that's what the tapes are more interested in. They're going through, they do the interviews with the detectives and the lawyers. And I'm way more interested in that legal side to it. So that's what I've been watching.
The last time we were talking about Dahmer, I got it mixed up with Ted Bundy, and so whatever I was speaking last time was complete nonsense.
I don't remember what you said, and I listened.
I mean, I was like, the something about like him getting caught like from a parking ticket or something like that, and then
he did get pulled over. I remember we talked about that. Dahmer got pulled over, but Bundy, yeah, he did. He got pulled over and like parking ticket or something, and then he like escaped twice or something,
and then he had all this like he's escaped a few times, and then he had all this stuff to mask his identity and stuff in the car, and I believe that's how he got caught. But when Lafayette started saying, and then the cop let him go, I'm like, really? So
I don't
all
my
my knowledge of serial killers is not great, apparently.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of them. They're easy to get confused. Dahmer's the one that ate people and kept dicks in his fridge. So that's a good way to, remember him.
That's Ted Bundy. He didn't cut people up or eat them or anything?
No, he did cut people up, but I don't think he ate them. Ted Bundy killed women, like college co-eds mostly. And he did cut them up into little pieces, but I don't think he saved any pieces. I think he was a trophy person. Like, so he would take jewelry or something. I don't remember specifically. But the other thing that I watched, which is really good that I recommend that you guys check out, is the Greatest Beer Run Ever movie.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Yeah.
Who's in this?
Zac Efron is the star.
Okay.
And Bill Murray does a smaller part of a bartender, and it's about apparently a true story, which is insane, about this guy during Vietnam War. All of his neighborhood buddies are over there, and he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go bring them some beers. And he fucking goes into a war zone and manages to find a few of his friends and delivers them a beer.
Just one?
No, he had like a whole knapsack full in the movie. So like he, has beers with him and several other people. And it's an insane concept, but it was a pretty well executed movie. It had a lot of heart, an interesting commentary about Vietnam. It's not exactly timely, but interesting, looking at it from a lot of different perspectives. It was interesting. I definitely recommend it.
Have you ever seen or read The Four Feathers? I believe Heath Ledger did a movie on it. It's based on the book, and the premise is back in, I would say, like the Civil War era, maybe before that, and everyone's going to war, and then like one guy backs out, and his four friends that are going to war, like each gives him a feather, basically saying that you're a coward, and they're done with them, type of thing. And then like in the movie, he's got a love interest, and like she leaves him or something like that. But he goes throughout the whole movie like trying to earn his friend's respect. So he like goes into the war zone, and I don't even know if he enlisted, but he goes into the war zone and he like saves like one friend's life, and he's like, take back your feather. It's like, so that one I guess it reminded me of the Greatest Beer Run. It's the Beer Run one that's probably a little funnier.
Yeah, definitely a little bit zanier. But it definitely has its serious moments. I liked it a lot because of the generational like thought of it, is that like they're a bunch of young kids, in the bar, and then the narrative of like, though they're heroes to their country, which I mean, they're soldiers, they're doing exactly what they're told. And just the generational aspect is like, Bill Murray's character, he comes from World War II. Like, you were the good guys over there, like, and you were supposed to be there. Like, the Vietnam War is so much more complicated than that. And they just that older generation just couldn't see it in the same way. But then on the other side, you have these people holding baby killer signs, which not cool, and it's
Right.
so it finds an interesting tonal middle ground. And I think it especially if you know history, I think it does a good lesson of it. I really liked it.
Okay. I will check it out this week,
it out.
and then I will let you know. I think we should try and review it for next week or the week after soon.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to dive in it with some spooky top devil movies.
What's up, everybody? And thanks for taking the time out of your busy day to listen to us try and sell you on our podcast, The Reluctant Historian.
Wait, this is a history podcast?
Well, obviously, I'm a history teacher.
This isn't what I signed up for.
Okay. Well, Dakota, before you try and get out of this, let's just play the trailer, and I'll show you and the audience how you can both love and hate history to enjoy this podcast.
Fine, play the trailer.
If you love history, or you absolutely hate it, The Reluctant Historian is the podcast for you. I'm Liz, and I love history.
I'm Dakota, and history is the worst.
So come along with me as I try to convince my husband that history is actually cool. Each week, I tell Dakota a story from history, and he gives his unapologetic thoughts and opinions on it.
If you're like me and can never sit through a history lecture without dozing off, I make sure to interject with a joke every chance I get. It's mostly to entertain myself, but if you like the joke, that's just a bonus.
So, let me teach you and my husband about Norse mythology and how it differs from the Marvel universe, if Rasputin actually did love a Russian queen, and how dogs aren't actually descended from werewolves, much to Dakota's disappointment.
And let me show you the challenges that come with agreeing to be on a show where I tell my wife if the story she told me was good or crappy. Am I gonna sleep on the couch tonight?
So tune in to The Reluctant Historian every Wednesday wherever you get your podcasts to find out.
All right. And we're back, and I am a little stressed out trying to horn in on Lafayette's territory here. I have to admit, he is a really good MC, and so I'm trying, guys. Trying my best.
Will it make you feel any more comfortable if you make fun of me?
Ooh, okay. You're right. You're right. But I'm not as mean as Lafayette. I don't have thoughts like he does. He is funny, and he's very mean, and I don't have that ability.
I would say it's similar to, I don't know, you know that old saying of taking spaghetti and throwing it against the wall to see if it's done. That's what he does with his dickhead and racist comments. It's like sometimes it works, sometimes it just falls to the ground. And so I don't know. I'll open the window to you if you want to.
I'm not good at it.
Throw
Somebody
some punches.
make fun of me, and then I'll go cry in the corner about it later, because that's who I am.
Come on, that's instant cancellation.
Making a girl cry on the podcast.
A pregnant girl cry. Yeah, I'm good. You look very pretty today.
Thanks.
Oh, there you go.
Except now she's crying.
Oh my god, thank you so much. It's so nice of you. Oh my God. I've eaten a lot of chocolate today, so the emotions are running high. All right, so now spooky season, October, it's here. Halloween right around the corner. So we thought it would be a good time to talk about some of our top devil, good versus evil movies. And I think we're going to do top 3, and we're going to go round robin. So we're going to start with Johnny. Johnny, what is your number 3?
Wait, before he goes, though, can we add the second category, top 3 actors? Because we talked about this earlier. They don't necessarily go hand in hand.
Okay.
My top 3 movies might not. Might be. So.
Well, let's do movies first, because I don't know if I have an actors list. I don't know if I can compete, but I have my top 3 devil movies prepared. And if Johnny doesn't, woe is he, because he's getting called on first. Number 3.
Number 3, I'm gonna have to go with The Exorcist.
Oh, that's a classic.
It's a classic. When they did the reboot and that crazy chick was like crab walking down the stairs. Yeah, scared the shit out of me.
Oh my god!
But yeah, that was a little terrifying. Exorcist is probably my number 3.
The one, was it in like the re-release, or was it in the original where she was like masturbating with the cross?
In the
She was, like,
original,
stabbing herself. It was
in the original,
horrifying.
and she
That-
said
Ugh.
she was saying, "Let Jesus."
Ugh. That
Yeah.
was the thing that stuck with me the most with that movie. And I think I saw when I was like 15 or 16. And I was like, what is happening?
I
don't
remember.
like it.
I remember a lot of lines from that movie. You know what she made me do, your little conking daughter. Remember?
If you've ever seen the first, I don't know, maybe 5-6 minutes of Scary Movie 2, they do like a spoof of The Exorcist, and it's hilarious. It's James Wood. I forget the actress's name who plays the girl, but it's probably the funniest part of all the scary movies combined.
All right, Hugh, you're
You can
number
probably
3.
check it out on YouTube. Just that first clip.
Well, so I did. The Exorcist is a tremendous movie, but I didn't see anybody really. That she wasn't the devil per se. She was one of the
Demon.
demons. So my list is pretty much straight to somebody playing the devil. And so my number 3 is Devil's Advocate.
Number
with
3. Whew.
Number 3 with Al Pacino.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great movie. That's pretty high up on my list. So my number 3 is Fallen with Denzel Washington. And I don't remember if he is actually plays a demon or like, not, whatever he's fighting throughout the movie, if it's a demon or the devil.
Yeah.
I really like that movie. And it's been a long time since
Twisted.
I've seen it. And I forgot about it until I started Googling, what these movies are. And I just remember so clearly the cat at the beginning and at the end. And
Yeah.
because the demon or the devil like hops bodies throughout. It's just really intense.
Yes.
It was like the original version of COVID, just
Yeah.
going from body to body.
That's why it's the end of days. That's why all the QAnons are, crazy about it. They're like, yep, that's the end of days. Just like in that damn movie. All right. Number 2, round robin again. Johnny, back to you.
I'm gonna go with It,
Ooh.
the original.
The Tim
Honestly,
Curry.
I have not seen the re-releases. I hear they're really good. You just have to kind of be in a mood for them, and I've never been in the mood to get the shit scared out of me. So the original, It just I remember how scary it was, and I believe it came out in the 3 or 4 part series, like as a kid. So I watched it on TV as it aired. So
yeah, it was a TV miniseries.
yeah, that scared the shit out of me. So
It
is my number 2.
I don't think I've ever seen all of the original It. I know I've seen parts of it. It's pretty distinctive. The remakes, I mean, they're pretty good, but I don't know. I remember the book more than anything else because I love Stephen King, and
Me too.
it's a hard story, I think, to encapsulate properly. A lot of Stephen King's stuff doesn't adapt very well.
There's a reason.
No, that's true.
What reason is that?
Well, because it's he relies on your mind, and really it's incredibly difficult, in my opinion, to make a movie about what you're seeing in your mind, as in the horror that you're seeing. Plus it's visceral. It's hard to convey that through a 2-dimensional medium.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I mean, you're exactly right. I've rarely seen a Stephen King, and I'm a huge fan because I grew up in New England, and I've never seen one really, really capture his book. Everybody loves The Shining, for example. I think The Shining's good, but it's not great.
It's not the book.
The Shining is about the house. It's about that house and the thing that, with what lives within that house.
Yeah.
And they just didn't convey it very, very well. I didn't think.
I think
Plus,
Stephen
I hate
King,
Shelley Duvall.
I think Stephen King is also like very much so you're in the mind of the characters, which is a hard thing to necessarily even if you have the greatest actor, like you can't hear their inner monologue. And Stephen King is also such a great writer, and like his
Yes.
callbacks to like personal information in
Yep.
in his writing. This character is seeing this and thinking back to something that happened to them in childhood and all this kind of stuff. And so it's just hard to translate. But my favorite adaptation, going off a left field here, of a Stephen King story is 1922 on Netflix. I love that one. It's a short story. It's a Stephen King short story, and damn, it is a good adaptation.
Okay. Did you know Shawshank Redemption was Stephen King?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in 4 seasons, the compilation book.
Yeah. Yes.
All 3,
And
and of the 4 stories in that, 3 of them made into movies.
What were the other ones?
The Body, which was the kid one. They find the body at the train tracks. Really famous. Made
Stand
Stand by Me.
yes.
Yeah. Stand by Me, Shawshank Redemption, and the third one, Apt Pupil. Also terrifying.
Who?
Terrifying short story.
Okay. I didn't realize Stand By Me was Stephen King as well.
Yeah. And of course, everybody knows that Red was cast differently in his story, but to me, it makes no difference at all. It completely works.
Yeah.
What is and I can't think of it. There's a Stephen King a book that was set in a hotel room, just in a hotel room that nobody could stay in overnight. And the lead actor. Yeah.
1492.
I thought that was very well done.
That was a good one. Was that a Stephen King novel?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because he talks about it in the book, on writing. I love Stephen King.
But I thought the
John
re-release
Cusack movie.
Yes, John Cusack.
It's so good. That's a good one. Yeah. Okay.
All right, back. Yes.
Back to track. You're number 2, Hugh. Devil movies.
Angel Heart.
I've never seen this one. Hugh, or Johnny? Sorry, have you seen this one?
Mickey Rourke, Lisa Bonet, and Louis Cypher. Lucifer, played by Robert De Niro.
I have never seen this movie.
I've never even heard of it.
It's great. It's set in Louisiana, like with spirits and black magic and mysticism. And
it's a sexy Mickey Rourke too. The young, pre plastic surgery Mickey Rourke. So
the pre-lumpy face.
And this actually was like Lisa Bonet's breakout from the Cosby Role movie, where she's totally playing an out there role.
She looks so much like what's her name when she's young? That's really helpful. What's her name? From
yeah, of course I know.
From Westworld. Just disregard.
Give me something. Come on, give me something.
Anna something.
You know what? We're down this rabbit hole.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Come on, give me some more movies.
All right. Westwood. Look, Tessa Thompson. There we go. Trusty Google. She looks a lot like Tessa Thompson.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see that.
She's in Thor. She plays the Valkyrie, and yeah.
Valkyrie, and then she was in Creed and Creed 2.
Yeah, but Tessa.
Yes.
But yes. Lisa Bonet, when she's young, looks a lot like her.
And then she was more recently married to the superhero Aquaman. Jason Momoa.
Oh, they're married?
They were.
They were.
Oh.
Yeah. But he's back on the market.
Yeah.
Yes,
he was dating Isa Gonzalez for a minute too.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I'm not into Cro-Magnon. He looks very Cro-Magnon. All right, Angel Heart. None of us know it, so we'll have to take your word for it, Hugh, on that one. My number 2 devil movies is Devil, M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes, I love that movie. I love that movie too.
The one where they're in the elevator the whole time.
Yes.
That movie is intense.
Yes.
It really creeped me out when I saw it. And it just it keeps you guessing to the very, very end about what's going on, who it is. And it's a good one. I'm also a little bit claustrophobic, so I think that probably added to the atmosphere and the creepiness of it, is all of them in the elevator and then like dying one by one by one. And it's just pretty horrifying.
Do you remember the line where she looks down at him and she goes, "Damn, I wanted you."
I don't remember that. It's been a long time.
It's right at the end where she has revealed itself.
Yeah.
And he has proved himself to be redeemable. And she's lost. She's lost.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Lost.
Yeah. It's that like, again, this is so classically me. It's like a redemption story and a tale, like a cautionary tale. I love a good cautionary tale. It's a good one for me.
You know what's interesting about that one is it's not directed by M. Night.
Did he write it or produced it?
It was his story, and then someone named John Eric Dowdle directed it. Thought that's kind of interesting that he didn't direct his own story.
That's probably why it was probably better. There wasn't some like crazy weird,
he probably
it's plants twist.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say because the Happening came out in 2008, and then so this one was 2 years later.
And they're like, no, you're not even directing
probably
your
some
own movie.
From the
You're
Happening.
not allowed.
Yeah.
All right, number ones. Back to Johnny.
You know what? I hope my last pick is Carlos and Lafayette just squirm. Like if they're driving on a moped somewhere, I hope they crash into something. They're in the Azores or some shit. Yeah. Take your Vespa, crash it into a wall. Because my number one is Constantine. I
love it. I love it.
The action, just everything about it. I love Constantine. It was also with a young Rachel Weisz. Oh, yeah. I'm all in.
And then the Constantine normal to me. I think it's so funny that people think that she's sexy, and I mean, I don't think she's not sexy. I just think she's just like normal looking. So I think that's interesting.
There are times where she looks like very normal because in Constantine she plays a detective, so they tone her down quite a bit. But there are certain angles, and you're like, wow.
She does have really nice lips. She's got like really like puffy lips, very pretty.
Yeah, Constantine.
He's like, yeah, that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you on Constantine, and I mean Keanu Reeves is in 2 of my top 5 horror movies. Devil's Advocate being the other, but it's not my number one.
It's not your number one.
And you guys are never going to guess it. I wouldn't even necessarily have put it there until I realized it does have the devil in a prominent role. I
know what it is. Let me guess.
Guess.
The Game.
No, it's not.
Because the devil must have been involved because that movie made me feel like I was in hell.
I'm still on your side, Hugh. I like that movie.
Thank you. It's Pan's Labyrinth.
Okay.
Guillermo del Toro. It's
seen
tremendous. And Guillermo del Toro is easily one of my favorite directors.
I've been meaning to watch it. It's just I know that it's going to be like dark and like kind of depressing, and so that's why I've always been like, I don't know that I'm in the mood for watching this.
and subtitled.
Subtitled too. Oh no.
But I mean, the subtitles won't ruin it for you. Believe me. I mean, I forgot all of I didn't even think about it in those terms, but then I realized, oh yeah, it is her going down to the underworld. Yeah.
Does she meet the devil in the end?
Mm-hmm. She sees. I don't know if there's an official meeting because she's led by a companion or a thing that takes her down there.
By Pan?
Well, the guy that plays the role is the same guy that played in that the fish movie where he's living. He's a very interesting.
The fish fucking movie. I can't think of the name of it, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He's a very interesting actor, I think.
Life in Water.
Yeah.
Like that.
I mean, how he contorts and does the things he does is very...
I think that was the same guy, I think, that did Abe Sapien in Hellboy, too.
Yes.
I think that's the same actor. Yeah.
Yes.
Is Pan's Labyrinth anything like the original Labyrinth with David Bowie?
No.
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 You've never seen it either, then, Johnny?
No, I've seen the original Labyrinth, and that was dark, and I
no,
wasn't
no.
expecting it because there was Muppets involved.
No, this is very different. No, I mean you've
It's-
never seen Pan's Labyrinth?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't either. It's just like it's like a classic piece of like film art, basically, and I feel like
dark fantasy land, dark,
Yeah.
but dark.
like I'm a loser because I haven't seen it, but I haven't. Maybe I'll watch it this Halloween.
Yeah, it's a good watch, and I mean it's not frightening in the same way that The Exorcist is, but it's really good.
Creep City.
All right, number 1, Laura.
Number 1, Devil's Advocate, and I was really surprised that it was so low for you, Hugh. I mean, it's just such a classic devil movie to me, and I think
it's
it was
one.
I think it was the first one that I ever
Yeah.
saw. You know what I mean? Because they used to play it on TNT all the time. So I was 12 years old and I'd watch it,
Yeah.
and then I remember because I always watched the TV edit every time it came on, USA, TNT, whatever. And the first time I saw it unedited, I was like, oh my God, this is like a completely different movie. So much more sexual.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Way more sex. Way more
I
nudity.
forgot that she was in Gladiator. I totally forgot
yeah,
that she was the wife of
Connie something.
Connie Nielsen.
Yeah.
She played the wife of this is
Yeah.
Sparta.
No, he didn't.
No,
she didn't
wrong
play
one.
yeah,
Wrong one. She played the princess.
yeah.
That's what I meant.
Or the queen.
sister. Yeah, the
technically.
sister. to
Yeah,
the
not Gladiator. I'm
emperor.
sorry.
No, she was in Gladiator.
Mhm. Yeah,
But she
Oh,
was
okay.
a sister to the emperor.
yeah. Who he
Right.
was always
Sorry,
trying
I
to
had the wrong
fuck.
movie. Yep.
Yeah, Lena Headey was.
Yes. You're right. Lena Headey. Right.
Devil's Advocate.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so good. It's
It's a
something about
really
that
good
s-
movie.
Yeah,
Really
there's
good movie. Young Charlize Theron,
Mhm.
young Keanu Reeves. I mean,
Yeah.
Al Pacino was great in it, and I just loved how everything at the end. He was like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna be a good person. Take that, devil. And
Yep.
then he was still around, and he like still dug his claws in at
It's
the
like,
end.
Yeah.
You're I'm gonna get you back again. And there's something about that Southern Gothic, because it's a Southern-based movie again.
Mhm.
What is it about the South? Like you talked about it, Hugh, with Angel Heart, that there's
Yep,
something going on there in like the American psyche about
Twisted.
what is, I don't know what that is, but there is something that just gets you about it. Kind of, creepy factor. Maybe it's the Bible Belt. It's what it is. It just feels appropriate to have the devil hang out
What?
down there. Devil went down to Georgia. Maybe that's what it is. It's all inspired by the song.
Well, so to go back to how the actors would be a different list for me. Pacino is easily my number 1 devil,
Yeah.
even though it's the number 3 movie, only because for me it's 1A, B, and C. They're all very great, but Pan's Labyrinth is probably a notch above, just because it is just so well made
Mhm.
and so different. But Angel Heart and Devil's Advocate are kind of similar types of movies. But can you guess? So you can guess already 2 of the actors that I put on my best devil actors. They're Pacino and De Niro.
The Russian dude from Constantine.
Oh, he was good, but I'm talking iconic.
He's not on your list?
I loved Constantine, but he's not in the top 3. The third one is also iconic. Laura guessed him.
I did. I don't even remember before we started.
He was
hitting
in
record.
a movie with 3 women.
Oh, yeah. It was Jack Nicholson.
He was in a movie with 3 women,
Jack
and it was
Nicholson.
a comedic type of movie.
Witches of Eastwick.
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson, yeah.
He was the devil?
He was the devil. in
Thank
the
you.
Witches of
That's
East.
what I said too, Johnny. I was like, I thought he was just some schmo in that
Yeah,
movie.
like
Mm-mm. Did you see him at the end when he morphed? When he finally got pissed off, and they couldn't kill him. They were trying to kill him. They were sticking pins into his candle wax diversion, and
it's
then
been a long time since I've seen it, but everyone like has sex with them, right? Like
and they all
I
have
do
kids
know
with
that,
him.
yeah.
that's right. Who were the female?
Cher,
Okay,
Susan
I saw some of that.
Sarandon, and the third
Michelle
one
Pfeiffer?
was
Was it
Michelle
Michelle
Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there we
Jack did
go.
all right for himself.
top
What-
3 devil movies. And we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back with a review of Bullet Train. But I think Hugh is going to bow out at this time because he's got to get up early tomorrow.
I do. So peace out to everybody. And then in the break, I'll just tell you real quick something.
Okay.
Are we in the break?
We are now.
Hey everybody, this is Gerald from the Video Game Podcast. And here's my buddy Mike.
Hey, how you doing, man?
We talk video games.
That's right.
Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, what's coming out, what's new, old school, Genesis, Nintendo 64. Don't forget about
Sega Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, and of course, Super Nintendo.
We also tell you why video games are lame and how you're a loser for playing them, especially into your 40s.
Loser.
What is wrong with you? Get a job, get a life, play with your kids, go outside.
Get a hobby. Maybe go out and kill some squirrels and then stuff them and put them on top of your fireplace. I do that. It's kind of fun. You should do it too.
There's so much more to life. Like Nerds Talking the Podcast. New episodes every Friday, where you find your podcasts.
Nerds Talking the Podcast. We're listening to it right now because this ain't even real.
That's right.
Back to the show.
All right, and we are back with our review, Johnny and I's review of Bullet Train, starring Brad Pitt, Hiroyuki Sanada, Joey King, and a lot of other folks. Did I get that right, Johnny?
Yeah, the a lot of other folks part you nailed it.
The guy from Kick-Ass, Aaron something.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
There you go, that one. And I'm sure more people. Sandra Bullock shows up randomly at the end as well. Brad Pitt is certainly the main character. That's how they have billed him. What did you think, Johnny?
I liked it, but I didn't watch a great copy. So there was a lot of, in the very beginning, there was a lot of interaction between the Japanese characters, and I got no subtitles. So I didn't know what was going on. And then towards the end, there was a lot of interaction with the Russian characters, and you can kind of figure it out. But I have no idea what
they don't like
on.
each other, basically.
Yeah, they don't like each other. I'm pretty sure they're kind of related. I don't know, fucking know.
It was his daughter.
I'm just guessing. Yeah. But it didn't take away from it too much, but because the action was good. Brad Pitt sold it as a bumbling hitman or contract worker.
Yeah.
I saw that, he sold me as a guy who just like Forrest Gumps his way through life.
He's very charming.
He had the same character in The Mexican. Have you ever seen that with Julia Roberts?
Yes, I have. It's been a long time since I've seen it, though.
One of my favorite movies. It's just, the story in general, and then how he just bumbles his way through everything reminds me of this character.
I thought it was okay. I wouldn't say that I hated it. I wouldn't say that I loved it. The whole thing, it had this kind of feeling of, it was like a less great Guy Ritchie movie mixed in with some Kill Bill. And then like some anime thrown in there as well. Like it was a little bit bizarre. It was a little bit kind of all over the place. But I mean, I think that was to be expected based on the trailer. It was very much so, this is what this is, so
Right.
It wasn't necessarily surprising. Things that I really liked about it. I really like Hiroyuki Sanada, the guy who played the elder. That Japanese actor, I think, is amazing. I love watching him do anything. Something very charismatic and captivating about that guy. And
I agree. His roles in just about everything that he plays.
Yes.
I mean, I think the first time I saw him was in The Last Samurai, and he sold me as a samurai warrior, and then he's basically been playing the same character ever since. Just this honorable, like no nonsense Japanese guy. And what else was he in?
He's in what I think Westworld was my first introduction to him. Season 2 of Westworld.
Okay.
And yeah, he just something about him, man. It's just captivating. Some people have just got some sort of energy. He's got it, whatever it is.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see him do maybe like say a comedy role or a slapsticky role.
Yeah, but then he wouldn't. Maybe that would like break the spell. Maybe he should be just a bad guy because he's not. He's not. He probably has played a bad guy. Just I can't think of anyone. But you're right. He's usually that honorable, the world upon my shoulders kind of guy. Maybe that's why I like him. He's a sad boy. He's a Japanese samurai sad boy.
He's so dramatic, and I love it.
Yeah, yeah. Brad Pitt was interesting in this movie though because I was thinking about it, and spoiler alert, we go through the whole thing, and the Russian guy wants to kill Brad Pitt because he thinks he's the guy who killed his wife.
Right.
But he got like the job switched at the last minute. He's filling in for this badass assassin. And I'm like, why would the badass assassin take this snatch and grab easy peasy job? And then it made me think, I was like, maybe Brad Pitt and like all of his going to therapy and all this stuff, he's all trying to atone for a bad past or something. Because he can definitely, he could fight like a son of a bitch more so than any smash and grab guy, bumbling is supposed to be able to, or in theory should be able to. So that I'm like, maybe there's something else going on behind the scenes. But then there I am. I'm always over analyzing and looking at things too deeply.
Yeah, they had a couple of flashbacks of where he didn't necessarily mess up a job, but he just had that bad luck.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Again, it was like that character on The Mexican, just like bad luck that gets him into more trouble. And it was pretty good. I don't have too many complaints. I will say the guys that played the twins, they were a little tough for me to understand. Accents were pretty thick.
Yeah. Well, I had the subtitles on so I could understand them because it was a little hard. The twins though, the Aaron, what's his name? The guy who played Kick-Ass, that guy is so hot. I don't like, even with the creepy pervy mustache, I don't care. It's just in his costume and
even with the mustache,
I don't care. Like, because he's got that perfect like curly hair that's like right at his like collar line. That's so super hot. He's got a great build and he's wearing a vest. A vest is like the greatest thing for a man. It like makes that perfect triangle shape, and just in the accent, and oh god, he's just so hot. I forget how hot he is, and then I see him in movies and I'm like, oh yeah, you are really fucking hot.
Oh, that is a very handsome man.
He is.
He doesn't always have great roles, but I mean, I feel like they underutilize him. Just like if I'm gonna cast Chris Hemsworth, for example, his shirt's coming off. Like same with that guy. That dude's so jacked and like,
oh my
take
god,
his shirt off. You know, like
in Kick-Ass when like the scenes where he takes his shirt off during training scenes, I'm like,
right,
God. Right. And he's like 5 or 6 years younger than me. And then like, so when Kick-Ass came out, I was a little bit too old to think that this like 18-year-old guy was super hot, and it was a little bit awkward. But now that we're in our 30s, it's kind of okay. He's like 32, I'm 38, and you're like, you can get away with that, but when he's 18 and you're, what would I be, 20, 29 or whatever, and I was like, this is a little creepy. But
right,
yeah, he's
felt awkward for having those thoughts.
Yeah, a little bit. It's of legal age, but still making me a little uncomfortable. But he's
right,
very, very attractive in those movies. I think it's the hair too. I love curly hair, and I love it when it's a little bit long. It's a thing with me. So on Bullet Train, I did my biggest complaint. I mean, it's not really a complaint. It's like, again, it's what you're signed up for coming into it. It's just like completely devoid of reality. It's just like a fun smash 'em up, ridiculous action scenes kind of thing. But at the end, when like the bullet train is literally like going through other trains and then they're crashing into cities, and then people are walking away unscathed. I'm like, the bullet trains go like 200 miles per hour. Like everything in this thing is dead when it crashes, and it was a little bit crazy. And then
you have to step back away from reality for a second.
Definitely.
For the whole movie, actually. I mean, besides, the only thing real in that movie was probably the Japanese toilet.
The bidet, the smart toilet.
It had the blow dryer, it had the bidet, it had everything.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's a whole step away from reality, and you can't really think of it that way. And then in the end, where Mike Shannon, the main character, the main villain, and he literally had a sword through his shoulder. Like he wasn't just stabbed in the shoulder, like the sword went through his shoulder to lodge itself in his upper chest, and he's still like using his arm. And I'm like, no. If that's how the sword is gone, you have severed bones and you are not using that arm.
So what I liked about that part, and only just that part, because obviously he'd be dead, right?
Yeah.
But what I liked about it is like
the axillary artery
he
gone,
was
done. He's fucking dead. But anyway, yeah.
Well, I mean, he was just like stumbling with his words, like somebody who's on his deathbed type of thing.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that part. But I mean, Haruki knows his swordsmanship. That's a kill move. Like Michael Shannon's dead.
Yeah.
So again, step back from reality, because Haruyuki can really kill people, in my opinion.
I bet he could. I mean, I put money on him in a fight. I mean, just look at him. He's so mournful and like, he's a hefty weight on his shoulders. He's definitely killed people before.
But all for honor.
Only for the good and for the revenge of the wrongs have been done.
I feel like he orders a cheeseburger with honor, just like so dramatic, and just like every bite is just, has meaning with it and has memories.
Memories. So overall rating, what would you give it?
I'm gonna give it a solid 3, maybe a 3.5 if I had the subtitles.
I'm gonna say 3 out of 5. That
okay.
It is what it is. It's a certain brand of movie, and maybe I wasn't just in the best mood, but I recognized what it was. It was fun. It was not a movie grounded in reality. It was fun, and the performances were fun to watch, and Brad Pitt's always fun to watch stumbling around. And he just gets more handsome with age, more handsome and more charming with age. If only.
Agreed. If only I could be like a Brad Pittish, just at my best, I want to be at Brad Pitt's worst. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's an comedian who has a whole bit like that. He's like,
oh, really?
Would you pick me freshly showered, just put some cologne on, well hydrated, over a Brad Pitt that's like been rolling in the gutter and hasn't showered in a month? It's like if you would pick me over him, right? But somebody makes a comment in the movie actually that they're like, you look like every white homeless guy I've ever seen. I'm like, what kind of white homeless men are you hanging around? Because
I can attest. I had my fair share of dealings with white homeless men. None of them look like Brad Pitt.
No,
I have seen a few like tweakers with like 6-packs, and I just think to myself, that's just not fair. Like, you're not doing. You're eating out of the garbage. You're smoking meth.
It's just zero body fat is what it is. Yeah.
I know, but it's just not fair.
It's the upside of meth. Everything else ruined. But you'll get skinny, you lose that teeth weight that's really holding you back. It's really that's really what it is when I get on the scale. It's like, damn, this is too healthy of teeth. They're just too strong, too heavy.
My teeth must weigh 200 pounds, and because got a lot to move.
Same. I'm just gonna get veneers. Just hollow out my teeth. Like Brad Pitt, I'm sure he's got veneers. Actually, I'm pretty sure he does. If you look at
your mouth, that's 100% natural. Everything about him.
It's interesting. If you look at celebrities like back in the 90s versus now, you can see how they all like had their teeth capped and veneered.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. Timothy Olyphant, one of my favorite actors, who I think is so hot. He has giant fake veneers. His real teeth are like little baby teeth. And somewhere in like the late 90s, he got veneers, like big, like The Mask almost veneers. And I love them. I think they're super hot. Something about big teeth.
I love that reference because I know exactly what you're talking about when you say The Mask veneers.
Just giant white teeth. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe that'll be my gift to myself after I pop out this baby. Just a bunch of giant fake teeth. I'll never be skinny like Hollywood, but I can afford teeth like Hollywood.
Don't give up hope.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it happens after this baby comes out. We'll see what happens.
Did you notice I guess the proper questions, like how bad did your first baby mess your body up? Because I don't know what it's like being a girl, so I can't relate.
The first one, not so bad. I bounced back pretty fast, actually. I was so stressed out. I literally couldn't eat the first 2 months that Charlotte was alive. So that baby weight just fell off. Like I was so stressed that I would eat like maybe a half a sandwich a day. And that's all my stomach could handle. So no more baby weight. And then it takes a while for everything else to just kind of like calm down. Like I was swollen for a few months. But number 2, man, changes. Everything changes. So I hear. So we'll see. We'll see.
I will take your word for it.
Yeah. Well, on that depressing note, anything else?
Sorry about that. My God, when's the last time you looked at yourself naked? All right, see you next week.
I try not to. I put black cloths over the mirrors whenever I take
I shower with the light off too. It's dangerous, but it's worth it for my self-esteem.
That slip in the shower. It's fine. It's fine. Anything else before we wrap it on up?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, then I think we're going to sign off and say goodbye. And we're going to wish our friends, Carlos and Lafayette, I hope they're having a grand time overseas. And I'm jealous.
Do you think they are dedicated enough to listen to the podcast while they're overseas?
I think Carlos is. I don't think Lafayette is. That's my theory.
Is it because Lafayette's an asshole and he's like, it's an asshole thing to do, like not to listen to your own podcast type of thing?
No, I think that Carlos is, he's the ship runner. He's got to check in.
He's a professional.
Yeah. He's the ship runner. He's got to check in and check in on my work and see how I'm doing, because I got to edit this bitch. So
I was talking with Carlos. Had dinner with him the other day, and I was joking. I think this is Laura's way in, and she's going to change it up. She all of a sudden, like, the passwords don't work for Carlos, and like
just lock him out.
Yeah, next week it's like, welcome to Impolite Nerds.
Impolite Nerds. Bring it on whenever I want.
Yeah.
Well, next week somebody else is doing the outline because this stressed me out. Well, for Johnny,
bye-bye.
And for me, see ya.
I don't like that.
And remember, guys, if you like the show, tell a friend, send them our way. We need more listeners. Let people know the good word about the nerds. Bye.
Bye.